The broadcast is live. So it says the broadcast is live. Do we believe it? Are we live? Can you hear us? Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year 2022.
That's crazy. 2022. Who'd have thunk it?
Thunk it.
Well, you know, who would have thought that we would be here?
Here we are. Says well. Okay, we're good to go. I think.
Okay.
Howdy, people.
Hello, Bill. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Bill.
Hey, KT. Yes, but echo. Okay.
Let's see if we can fix that. Is it still
Hey,
echoing?
Lucky 7. We'll keep talking and let us know if you still hear an echo.
Do you hear it echo?
I think I had an extra mic on, so I think it might be off.
Hey, Lucky
7. Who'd have thunk it? Love it.
How you doing, KT?
It just seems like a sci-fi number, you know, that we used to see in movie titles that, okay, they say the echo is still there.
Better? I think we might have it.
Okay.
So I see we have Ed, the reselling riders in. How you doing, Ed? Happy New Year.
Deals with Danny. Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
How do we sound now?
Way better. Okay. It's the first live for the new year, so dipping our feet in the pool by jumping in. Just saying. All right. Well, I see Jim and Beth are in. Adventures with the Hudsons. Hey, happy Monday.
Hey, Hudsons.
Howdy,
Why does
howdy.
the camera keep zooming?
Because you
Is
keep
it
moving.
because I keep moving?
Yeah, you got to, it focuses.
All right, I'll try to sit still.
It's like,
No, that's your hand that you're like, hey.
okay, so that's my hand. Ooh, had a bad case of the cold. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully you'll get better, though.
Oh, man.
It is that time of year.
Hopefully it doesn't last too long.
Well, we appreciate everybody kind of jumping in and saying hi. Yep, Mike's muted. And how's everyone's new year been so far?
We're on day 3, and
Day 3.
how are your resolutions going?
How's the goal planning going? It passed now, only have a headache. Okay.
Well, hopefully that goes away soon also.
Yes. My first resort with a headache, drink water, probably a little dehydrated. But that's just me.
Speaking of, I didn't take a drink before we started, so I'm going to take a drink now.
KT said, great New Year so far. Was that a great New Year so far? Because you're yelling at us with all caps. I mean, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if, just checking.
I don't know if anybody follows Jeebus or watched his latest video, but they had a great start to the new year. They found a stash of cash in a safe. So if you haven't seen that video, it's pretty fun to watch their reactions and their just emotions. I mean, as you can imagine, when you're finding stacks and stacks of cash, it's pretty fun. It was fun to watch them experience it. So, yeah, Ed, we're going to get into some of our goals a little bit later in the live. So definitely,
we're going to get into it. And today is kind of our State of the Union, so to speak, address. And we're going to talk a little bit about what we have planned coming up for 2022 and some of our goals. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I guess we wanted to start off by just talking to you about, you know, us going live, where we've called it Motivation Mondays. Kind of because everybody, you know, I think at the beginning of the week might need a little bit of motivation.
Be careful on the table.
So Roy always reminds me I gotta stop shaking the table, which shakes the camera. So anyway, okay, yes, I should put my arms down here, elbows off the table. It's not that comfortable to sit that way.
Just don't lean on it. That's all.
Okay, whatever. So yeah, we're gonna try and share with you a little bit of motivation every Monday, with things that we've sourced over the weekend, some of our hauls, and what's selling for us, what's working for us. But we're also looking to educate with tips and tricks, and just really focus on working this reseller business and staying as positive as possible in this new year.
Yeah. So ideally what we're going to do, Motivation Mondays, we were back and forth on kind of the title of it,
and I love alliteration.
So the idea with Mondays we are looking to come up with the topic, a tip, trick, spend some time talking about that. We also want to get into talking a little bit about the weekend hauls. We do a lot over the weekends, from Thursday through Sunday. So kind of getting into a little bit of what we found, maybe a couple bolos. And one of the other things we want to do is once a month in our Mondays, we do a lot of reading. So personal development, self-development, success and business principles. So we have a book that we read every month that we're going to share and talk a little bit about. And that's kind of what we're going to be doing with Motivation Mondays. So hopefully you'll join us for, Mondays about 3:00. It wraps up our afternoon kind of, and gets the week started. And yeah.
So we get to go home after this, is what you're saying? Like the day's over?
This is home.
Yay! Hey, Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer, how you doing?
Yes, Hudson's. I'm ready for estate sales to start back up. Roy kept asking me over the weekend. She's like, "Are you sure there's no estate sales?" I'm like, "It's New Year's."
Yeah. We were on such a great run in December. It's crazy, like what we got. And we missed a few recently, and I'm just itching to get out and keep going. And yeah,
because we have nothing to list here. There's absolutely, we've listed all our inventory.
Our death pile gone. So book review, please. Yes. So we are actually going to get into our agenda here, because I want to tell you how to find out about the books we're reading. What I've learned a long time ago was I was with a group where we read the same book every month, and to have other people that read the same book during the same time frame, I was getting, specifically, I'll say me, because this is how I felt about it and wanted to get back into the environment. I'm sure Lisa may agree with me, but what I felt with books, if I read a page or two or a chapter, I ended up getting a different perspective than somebody else that read it. So I learned a little bit more of the book instead of me reading it, go back, read it over again, having other people that read it. It seemed like everyone got a different perspective, and you learn from that. So, or at least I did. You listen to what people say and you learn a little bit more into the book that you might not have seen because of your perspective at that time. That just opens that door. And then I like to read books that once you get done reading them, they change everything. So I like reading books that as soon as I get done with it, the mentality and what I'm thinking and my perspective changes from the information I read. So those are the books I like.
I like those books too, but I also like to read fiction, which I don't do very much anymore because there's just not enough time. So, hey, Miss Lachey, welcome.
Hey, Miss Lachey, how you doing? So
So yeah, we will be sharing books. Do you want to share the book or do you want to wait till later?
We're going to get into that in a minute because
Okay.
I want to also make sure that we tell them where it goes, and we're going to get into our agenda, and appreciate you stopping in and kind of run through our bullet points, and appreciate you being here and not keep you too long.
This is not a meeting.
So. I'm sorry.
This is not a Zoom call there. This is edutainment.
Okay.
Anyway, what's
the
the
day's
next
over
bullet
after this, so I'm trying to hurry up and go home.
What's the next bullet point?
So why we do what we do, I learned a long time ago, the first thing you do is start with why. So why do you do this? The resale.
I didn't know he was going to ask that.
It's right on. No,
just kidding. I did. Well, I've always had the desire to be self-employed. So to be our own boss is very challenging at times, but it's also the most rewarding job, I think, that I'm ever going to have. And my hope and dream and goal is to never be employed by another employer again. So that's the big part of it. But I guess, why do we resell? I mean, there's a lot of different reasons. One big reason is that there's so much good stuff out there that still has a lot of life left in it. And I love connecting that stuff with the new buyer, the new owner, its new home, its second home, or maybe its fourth or fifth home. Who knows? So throwing things away, we don't like to do that whenever possible. So
that was a lot.
I know.
I almost died. I was holding my breath to start talking, but
whatever.
All right.
Don't hold your breath.
I won't do that. Wanted to say hi to Thrift and Flip. Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
Flipping
there.
Sports Guy. Hola. And Adopted Retrospecs. Hey.
Welcome everyone. It's good to see you all here. Thanks for stopping in Monday afternoon. We're getting motivated.
Yes, we are. And understanding a little bit more about Averys All In.
Why does the camera keep doing that?
Because it keeps focusing. So
okay.
Stay on task.
So what's your why?
She's going to yell at me in a second. So
what's your why?
So my why actually is, I could start by saying that I just love the thrill of the hunt. That's my first and foremost. The
treasure hunt.
I like to buy and sell, and I've been in sales for I don't know how long, and just doing the treasure hunt of it all just really, I'll say it tickles my poker fancy. How's that? So before we really got into this, I was going downtown Cleveland, and I'm sitting at the poker tables in the poker room, and I can go into stories about that, but that has really replaced the thrill of playing poker. So I'll leave it at that.
We do a lot of storage unit buying, and there is definitely a gamble every time you buy a storage unit. It's different than going to an estate sale, because at an estate sale, you can look at an item, you can pick it up, you can feel it, you can see if there's any damage, you can look at the surface closely, look for marks. But when you're buying a storage unit,
it's like Christmas,
it's
feel like a kid at Christmas, and having that feeling, knowing you're going to go tear through a unit, and I don't know, it's just like the biggest rush in my opinion. Estate sale, yeah, you can find a piece or two, but you get a 10 by 25, or go back and look at the $130 unit we posted last year. I mean, that kind of stuff, knowing you spent this much and you have all this stuff to sift through and find all kind of deals to sell. I mean, that's me. That's a treasure hunt.
But what I'm saying is it's a gamble too, because you don't know, like I'm comparing that to gambling. Like there is the unknown with the storage units. Like
we won't talk about gambling because I think poker is a little different, but we won't get into that,
Okay.
But
poker and storage units, because you just made that comparison. So
Yes.
I'm just kind of expounding on that.
So when you look at poker and you look at storage units, you take a set of information, whether it's, something you see in the storage unit, a bunch of boxes, things that you can, hey, Nolan.
Hey, Beverly. Hey, Nolan. What does POG mean? You got to tell me that. That's my son, by the way.
Hey, Top It. So when I think of poker, I sit at the table and you take information from the cards that are on the table. I look at clues from the people I'm sitting in front of, kind of their body language, things like that, to kind of figure out, whether I play that hand or not. Storage units is kind of the same. I look and see what's sitting around. I look at stuff that's familiar. I look at the price, and then I look at who's bidding, and I look at the mannerisms, and I kind of play, buying storage units like poker. Now, when it's online, it's a little different, but I did online poker before too. So, different scenarios, but it's still the same rush. But that's why I love to do it. But that has brought us to where we're at now, which is we've had years how we started. I was doing this back in like 2008, and recently found a Facebook page that I made when I was doing it back then. So, needless to say, 13 years later, here we are again. So individually, I started back in 2008, and we made ourselves a business and started working together in 2017. And you?
I should log into my other eBay account to see when I started selling on eBay, or at least when I started buying. I'm not sure if I bought first or if I sold first, but I would have to go back there. Do you remember what it was? It was like 2006 or 2008, something like that. We've both been doing this for a long time separately. And then when we got together in 2016 and soon realized that it was a shared interest, we just started talking about plans and dreams and goals. We had both been small business owners before we met and knew that we wanted to get there again. And so we're just kind of in a good place together where we're working together, doing what we want and trying to figure it all out and grow and advance and, be better than last year. And so, yeah.
So that's a little bit about how we got started. And here we are. Go figure. Sitting here in our warehouse, reorganizing, creating new posts and new areas to take advantage of the business, and trying to see what we can do and expand on next year. Or actually, I'm sorry, it is this year now. So we're in 2022. So
let's work on 2022 before we start thinking about 2023.
Hey, you can never start too early, right? I mean, you got to have your year goals, your 5-year goal, 10-year goal.
This is true. This is absolutely true. Yep.
Me in particular, I'm already down the road what retirement looks like, and we're just working our way backwards. So, I mean, there's definitely goals set at different plateaus or time frames that we're shooting to accomplish. So, how long have you been together, Beverly asks?
We met in the fall of 2016. So a little over 5 years.
Yes, we did. Actually, funny enough, our first conversation was that was when I brought my dad home from a skilled nursing facility for me.
Yeah.
So during the Browns game, or no, we talked after the Browns game. I don't remember if they won or lost though, but it was a Sunday. So a little bit about the warehouse. Go ahead.
We're just looking at notes, comparing notes.
Yeah, I don't follow things very well. Like I'm Mr. Squirrel, it just kind of things jump in front of me and I shoot for it. So warehouse expansion. So we're looking at the warehouse. In the last month, not a lot of communication because we've actually been clearing out the warehouse, trying to reorganize it, moving things around a little bit. And getting a better flow and dynamics. So with that being said, it's been a lot of work and a lot of undertaking clearing out our huge debt pile. I don't think we've posted anything about that, but I'm working on a video that's going to talk a little bit about that so that people can see. It's been a large undertaking for the two of us trying to clear this out and reorganize it, but in that expanded space, we're doing something like now we have our YouTube studio set up. So we're starting it. This is the start, and the idea is whenever we want to go live, we can just sit down at the table and start going live and talk, or do our Mondays or whatever we do, lives, guest appearances. We already have our dedicated space for it. So.
And like everything, it's a work in progress because we have the list over there on the whiteboard that has okay, we still need this and we need to do this, and but we got it started. So that's the first step. And that's really with anything, taking the first step. So.
Hey, Callie, how you doing today? Thanks
Hey,
for stopping in. So with that expansion, that really has been a large part of what we've been doing in December, because we wanted to hit the ground running as soon as possible with where we wanted to go next year, or I'm sorry, in 2022. So one of the things, if most people have seen any of our previous videos, I just got out of full-time work back in the beginning of October. So kind of coming into the warehouse and the business full-time. My thought when I was part-time is not my thought when I was full-time. So we've been changing a few things up. So
yeah.
Yeah. So that being said, we didn't have a bad year as far as with where things were, but we are changing some of the way that we source moving forward. So we didn't do a lot of estate sales last year. We didn't go out and do a lot of buyouts. I think we focused more on consignments and estate sales for people that we were doing, as opposed to getting into more of the treasure hunting part that I like, or finding our own items, or figuring out how to do buyouts, figuring out how to be in control of it more. Because that's one of the things with consignments. When you get consigners, sometimes they have ideas of what they want for their items. And sometimes it's not easy to say that, your item isn't maybe going to sell for as much as you think. So, so we've been trying to figure out how to, change that up a little bit.
And yes, Hudson's, we have internet at the warehouse. We have Wi-Fi set up.
That we do.
So that kind of talks about 2021, right?
Mm-hmm. In 2022, we're doing more buyouts and storage units and more estate selling, and getting into one of the other avenues, Amazon. So by the end of this year, we want to get into a department in the warehouse or a little section of the warehouse that's going to be Amazon. We're still figuring out the dynamics of that, but we're going to carve out a little bit of area that we know when we walk in this area, or whatever we put in that area, it's going to be going towards Amazon, while we're building up our eBay. And those are our two main focuses. Number one, build up eBay a lot more. Number two, bring in Amazon, and that's going to help as we wean out of doing the consignments as much as we were.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. And we didn't have Amazon last year, so we can't talk about it for 2021. Storage units. How many storage units did we buy last year?
A lot.
Did we? Lose track sometimes.
Yes.
It seemed like we were taking forever getting that expense entered in for end of the year, but yeah.
I have no idea of the number, though. I mean, we could find it, but 30? Do you think we did 30?
Probably, at least, amongst everything else.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, with all the time that I have now to focus on the business, we'll probably do more than that. And we were about 30, 35 the year before too. So, so yeah, I mean, that's kind of been a little average, and that's been with working full time and spare time helping clear out storage units. So we're trying to build another process in our warehouse where we're processing storage units a lot quicker and faster so that we can get it posted and moved and not turn into the death pile. So I expect that we can buy more storage units.
Well, I mean,
process quicker.
The thing with storage units is there's just so much little stuff that you have to go through. And I think we're approaching it different this year in that if it's too little or too, we're going to make decisions a lot quicker about things versus letting them sit around for a year or more.
Yeah. So ideally, as we talk about, our Motivation Mondays, tips and tricks are one of the things we talk about. And one of the things we're working on definitely doing is looking at our turnover with our inventory. So I know I have an aggressive goal of about 30 to 60 days turnover, and whether we actually can reach that for all of our inventory might be a very steep goal. And I'm never going to say impossible, but there's a nice little phrase I always keep in mind, which is, I read this years ago, you aim for the stars, land on the moon, but at least you're a lot further than you started. So, will we get all of it turned over in 30 to 60 days? Probably not. But if that's the focus, we're going to turn over a lot more now than we did last year because, the goal is now put in place to see how quickly we can flip our inventory. So, but yeah.
And I made an observation the other day. We sourced heavily at estate sales and online auctions in the last, 6 weeks of the year, would you say? And we're being really diligent about getting that listed timely. It comes into the warehouse and it gets listed within a day or two, maybe a week at the most, depending on what it is and how much research, kind of goes into it. But that stuff is selling. Like that is, not all of it, but like the turnaround, the flip time has been really interesting. And I compare that to, the stuff that we get out of storage units. I'm not speaking down on storage units, but it's like we don't have any control over those items, the items that are in the boxes that we get, that we can make money on because we know they have some resale value, but they weren't handpicked by us because we couldn't see them.
So
right. So we do buy what we see, but we can't see everything in a storage unit. So there's that stuff that we don't see that sometimes sits around for a little bit longer than maybe we'd like it to. Your 30 to 60 day aggressive.
Well, that's just a matter
goal.
of we process it quickly and get rid of what we don't need.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the answer.
Yes, it is. All right. So definitely eBay. This year, eBay was not our major source of liquidation. Next year, eBay is going to be a bigger source of liquidation for us. So we've definitely been making goals to post more on our eBay page daily.
Store. eBay store.
Okay. eBay store. Wrong verbiage.
He gets all his social media mixed up. eBay's not even social media.
Well, it depends. But we are definitely looking to increase the amount of time we put into our eBay. We've noticed that the more we post daily, the more views we get, and the more views we get, the more views we get, you in, and our camera cut off. Sorry, 1 second. Technical difficulties. There you go, speak.
Okay, can you see us? Can you see me? I don't even know what camera's working. We have 3 computers and a phone set up, so where should I be looking? Here? There? Oh, okay. Can you just see me? There's the warehouse ceiling. My name is Prize Wheel today.
Oops. My bad. I was trying to do something and kicked us out of the live. My bad. Anyway. Too many computers. Yeah, well. Go to comments. Sorry about that, guys. There we are. Okay. What I was working on that kicked me out was something completely different. So I apologize. We'll have to do that later. All right. Well, now that we're back, we were talking about state sales, sourcing, eBay, consignments. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, so in the sourcing expansion, of course, ideally we're looking to get into more buyouts for next year. So that is another thing that we've been working on, looking at figuring out what we know a lot and not being so various as far as items. So kind of fine tuning it to when we do buyouts, looking for things that, like for me, video games, electronics. Do you mean niching down? I thought it was niche. Tomato. Uh-oh. Cha-ching. Okay.
I got to get rid of this thing.
I think he did it again because the one mouse that he has is for the computer with the camera. But I think he's reaching for that mouse when he's trying to use his other computer that's sitting in front of him. I don't know.
Exactly.
It's very confusing. So, anyway, if you can see my name where it says Prize Wheel, we have some prizes or we have some giveaways coming up. So you got to stay tuned till the very end. Danny, we went to the casino for a little while on New Year's Eve, and I swear I hear cha-chings all over there, and I think it's my phone, but it's just the casino noises. But cha-chings are fun to hear.
And we're back. Okay, so I put that mouse away because I go to look at my computer and then it hits. Yeah, so we're done with that. So, I'd say never let them see you sweat, but I mean, hey, I don't really sweat too much anyway. At least I try not to. But moving forward, we do have some giveaways.
I already said that.
Well, then it's time to see what we do about that prize wheel, isn't it?
Is it time?
I don't know. It could be.
Okay.
So, actually, I did want to make sure I pointed out a couple things. So, we actually have different social media platforms that I've set up in the last probably 4 to 6 weeks. So if you're not familiar with it, even when we are not as visible on YouTube. So when I say not as visible on YouTube, like in the last few weeks, since we've been busy, holidays, if you did not know, hey, little Miss Q, if you did not know, we actually are on Instagram. We created a Facebook page for Averys All In. We have a Twitter page, and we also have under our LLC, we have Recycle NEO, a website, and a Facebook page there. So if you aren't tied to the other options, if you're not seeing us, you can always check us out on the different platforms, because we have different things that we're showing. Like one of them, we may show a little bit of the warehouse. Right now on Instagram, we point out little things like the book that's we're reading this month. Twitter, I'm still figuring out how we do Twitter, but I'm trying to kind of keep us out there, and there's a reason for that too. So, but we'll get into that, and that'll be coming down the pipeline on one of our Mondays. So
yeah, we didn't talk about the book yet, Casey. We're going to in a minute here.
We can talk about it right now.
Or right now.
So this is the book we're reading. So I have 5 books that I try to read every couple of years. One of them is The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. And that is the book that we are currently reading for January. And what do you think so far?
It's really good. It has a lot of good information. It's an easy read. It's a quick read. So our hope is that you guys will read with us. And, you know, if you're not a reader, there are other options. You can listen to books. You can borrow books from the library, so you don't even have to buy the book. But, you know, books are pretty easy to get nowadays. So we would hope that in a few weeks, when we have our first book club meeting, that, you know, there's some dialogue and discussion about the book and what you got out of it, because that's the whole idea of reading, is what do you learn from the book? How are you going to apply it to your life? And the books that we're selecting really are books that are going to improve your many facets of your life. It can be business, it can be personal, it can be relational, it can be psychological. So, you know, we like to, I think you said it, self-development, personal development. We like to focus on that and always strive to be, you know, improving ourselves. So that's kind of the goal with the book club. And we would love to have you guys come along.
And Motivation Mondays.
Yes. KT Treasures just said it. Audible is, I think that's Amazon's audiobook subscription service, or purchase. You can buy them through there. I know you can borrow audiobooks from the library for free also. I'm a big library proponent. I do buy books because I like to have them. But I also am a big fan of the library. So, you know, not everybody can afford to buy books all the time. So the library is a great option.
And me, I'm not a fan of the library because one of the things I hate is to return stuff. So I just buy it outright. That way I don't have to worry about returning it. I know how I am. So, you know, after years of doing this, I've learned it's just easier to pay the $10 or whatever and buy whatever I want. And then I don't have to worry about returning it. So I got a ton of these books that I read on the bookshelf. I would say I probably have close to at least 100 of the books that I've bought. I don't know how many I have stacked up that I still want to read. But I definitely know if I borrow it from the library, and Lisa's seen this a little bit, it doesn't get back to the library. And yeah, it took them long enough for them to issue me another library card, and I probably owe fines on it and probably can't even check anything out at this point anyway. So,
and just a little fun fact about Roy and I, the very first time I came to his house when we were dating, the first thing I noticed in his living room was his bookshelf, and that he had books on it. And, you know, like, I was just so excited because I am been a book lover my whole life. I worked at the library for several years in my past. So I was pretty excited about that.
And I read most of them.
Yeah.
To include, I have a nice little library of poker books as well amongst that.
A whole shelf of poker books, but that's okay because that means it's still reading, you know? So anyway, Beth had suggested we put the book title in our video description. So we can do that. We will also be starting to advertise that, you know, on all our platforms, so that people do know that that is the book that we're reading this month, and that, you know, we'd love for them to join us in this journey.
Well, I will say, I'm going to throw it in the chat real quick. If you go to our link, I just dropped our Linktree link. You can not only find the book, but you can also find our different social media platforms, from Twitter to our Facebook page to our emailing list. So we do these online sales. So when they pop up, if you're on our emailing list, we'll send you an email when we have those going. So yeah, I dropped our Linktree where you can find every link almost to every social media platform we have. And I will put it in the description.
I actually just used our Linktree the other day because I had to put some links into our email blast that we sent out for New Year's Eve or New Year's to our email list, and it didn't populate. So I'm like, oh, where can I get all of my links? And they were all right there in Linktree. Yeah. So it was very convenient.
So if you don't have Linktree and you have different platforms that you might be utilizing, from social media to YouTube to Instagram, whatever, Linktree allows you to put it all into a nice little neat link where you can go to it, open it up, and see everything. So, and you can add and take things off of it. So it's constantly changing. One of the places that I will say you can see a lot of the different, when I market that link, so to speak, if you're tied to our Instagram, I'll tell you it's in the bio, and you can go to the bio and see the different links and get to our LinkedIn as well, or Linktree as well. One of the other things we want to point out, I don't know how often we'll do that now because it's a little cold out, but come next year, part of our thing is to get out and have fun as well. That's why it's Averys All In. The goal is to kind of get out and show you what our reseller lifestyle has allowed us to do. And one of the things that we will be doing next year is a little bit of camping with our camper.
He actually means this year. We're not waiting until next year.
It's like trying to write the date when you're in school and the day is January 2nd and you're still writing last year's date or year.
I just wrote the date today as 2022.
Anyway.
Oh, let me share with you a tip real quick that I just did today. So on one of our social media platforms, Roy posted, and you can check it out. Maybe you saw it. Well, rewind a little bit. I saw a post recently about how someone was selling their Bath and Body Works coupons, the ones that you get in the mail. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I have some. So I dug them out, and of course they had expired in November, so they weren't good anymore. But I had just gotten a DSW coupon in the mail a few days prior. So I'm like, well, let me see if I can sell that. And so I looked at comps. They were only going for, not that much money. So I ended up selling a DSW coupon for $4.50 with free shipping. So I was going to just drop it in an envelope with a stamp and mail it out. Well, to keep your top rated seller status, you have to upload tracking information for every shipment. So after I marked it shipped today, I went to the upload tracking field and I put in, what did I put in? What did I type in? Like
something about you,
like
postage,
USPS
first class envelope or something.
First class stamped envelope. And it said that tracking number has already been used by someone else. So I put in USPS stamped envelope 01032022, the date and the year, and uploaded that for tracking, and it accepted it. So it was just like, usually you're entering a real number in, or a UPS number that starts with 1Z, but this was just some totally made up series of words and numbers that I added, and it worked. And based on what I added, the buyer is going to see that and know that I mailed it out with a stamp on this date. So, and you're right, Miss Q, we did some research, and I didn't mark it. I didn't mark the listing that way before. So after it sold and they paid for it, we couldn't go back and do that. So we learned that today also. But I was also sharing that you could just enter into the field. Are you trying to do that?
Sorry.
Anyway, that was my pro tip for the day. You can type into the tracking number field, whatever you want.
All right.
So, where were we?
Tracking field.
Yeah, we covered
Whatever
that.
you want.
Check.
Oh, okay. So I think it's time to show what we want to give away today. What do you think?
All right.
Okay. Well,
Giveaway number 1 or giveaway number 1 and 2?
so we have 2 giveaways here. One
Two lucky wieners. I mean winners. Sorry.
So we are going to give away 2 things, but what we ask is if you're on Facebook or Instagram,
to claim your prize,
you're gonna have to shoot us a direct message that way. The last time we did a giveaway, we did some gift cards, and how did that turn out?
Well,
yeah, we had some people in the crowd that threw in some addresses, so we're gonna definitely say hit us up on the Instagram or Facebook page, Averys All In. It's in the link tree. We'll confirm everything's good to go, so we make sure the right people get the prize or the giveaway that we're giving away. So let's give away a giveaway.
Okay.
Who wants to get something?
So
I do.
Should I delete some of these numbers?
Well, probably we have our live, but I will get there. Oh, do I have to register first, Q?
What's that?
I was reading KT Treasures. We have our live, but I will get there. Do I have to register first, Q? And that was probably in regards to the whatnot auction that Miss Q dropped in the chat there that she's having this evening. Me, you got this. You got this. Okay. Is that some? So we have, it looks like, 15 people watching now. So
why is that there?
So what we'd like to do is do our prize wheel, and we're going to go down to, let's do,
I went to 40.
okay.
Do I need to go lower?
Well,
It just gives more options.
but then we got to track it.
Okay. 30.
So what are we going to do? Ask everyone to pick a number?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So everyone pick a number from 1 to 40.
No, 30.
1 to 30. And
where's the music? How can I make sure I got the music going? Can you guys hear the music?
okay. So let's see. We have.
I know what I need to do. That's what I need to do.
Yes.
So it looks more.
So we have
No music. Oh, maybe it's when I spin. Maybe it's when I click.
Yes.
So, all right.
All right. And do we have everyone in yet? Has everybody picked a number?
All right.
So what's prize number 1, or do we want to spin first?
Oh, we should. I don't know. Do you guys want to see the prizes first? We should probably show them the prizes.
Well, let's see. Do we want to see the prizes first?
Let's show them the prizes.
Okay. Well, prize number 1. Spinning surprises.
So,
That's what we just got. Little Miss Cute, spinning surprises. So let's spin first.
all right, here we go. We're going to spin the wheel.
So,
And the first winner is number 18.
and I believe I saw 18 was by. Hold on. 18 was by Bill S.
Bill, congratulations.
Congratulations, Bill.
Woo, woo, woo.
So, surprise number 1, giveaway number 1.
Dun, dun, dun.
I've been doing a lot of buyouts on comics. So this is prize number or giveaway number 1.
You got Batman.
There we go.
And
This is from 1993, Batman, The Seduction of the Gun. And we have this. This is from 2008, Superman, New Krypton. So they are bagged and they are boarded.
woohoo.
All right. All right.
Okay.
So
And
that was.
giveaway number 2 coming right up.
Hold on. Don't spin yet.
I'm not.
And number 2. There we go.
Ready?
Ready, Freddy. Oh.
Here we go. Now, can you guys hear the music?
We have
23.
Number 23.
Woo. That's my birthday number. Did anybody pick my birthday
We don't
number?
have a 23 picked. Beverly.
What did she do?
Pick 23 after.
No. All right, no music. Let me see if I can find the music.
Okay, so how do we want to handle that? We have 2 that are close to 23. We had a, hold on. We had a 22 that was KT Treasures. And we had a 24 by Thrift and Flip. So we are going to do a spin-off between those two, KT Treasures and Thrift and Flip. Go down to 10. So
wait, hold on. Ah. All right.
So Thrift and Flip was 24, one above. KT Treasures was 22, one below. So pick a number between 1 and 10, and we are going to take the closest to the number that spins. Number between 1 and 10, KT Treasures and Thrift and Flip.
Dun, 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 dun,
Thrift and Flip is at 8.
Dun, 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 dun.
And really, 8 and 7.
All right.
All right.
Here we go. Could be the high-low game.
Take a bet on that high or low.
Okay.
All right. Well, number 1. And that is not the middle finger number 1, but the actual number 1 on that spin. We have it number 1, and the winner for that, or the prize for that, is 2022. So let us get organized here. Nice little clipboard, pad of paper, pen. And on the back it says, "Be lovely and kind." All right. So if you could do us a favor, we have
So who won that one?
KT.
Oh,
They were the closest,
right.
even though they were 7.
Yes. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you all. Congratulations. Don't forget to send us a message through either Instagram or Facebook. That would be Bill and KT. And we appreciate you all stopping in. Any closing notes that you have? Or anything in closing?
I don't think so. Other than let's just make 2022 the best year possible. We've all been through some rough times in the last couple of years. So let's go into this positive with our heads up, shooting for the stars, hoping to hit the moon.
No, we're not hoping to hit the moon, shooting for the stars.
How does it go? I don't know how it goes.
You aim for the stars, and if you land on the moon, you're further than you started.
Okay, there we go. Something like that.
I'll take it. If you hope to land on the moon and you're aiming for the stars, I can take that too.
We might be on the moon sooner than we think.
I thought we already were.
We were.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Once. All right. We don't go down that rabbit hole.
All right. Well,
but yes, read your book. At any time, if you guys want to reach out to us about something that you read, or hit us up on social media with a quote from the book that really struck you or whatever. Like, we want to, be on this journey with you together. So we're excited to be on the journey. I think you're going to enjoy the book, because I know I am. I'm already about 4 chapters in. So
yeah, the funny thing is she's reading my old book. So she's like reading all my notes. She read one note yesterday that she was like, "What is that supposed to mean?" And we won't get into it, but it's just kind of funny to see some of the notes that I put in it. And that's why I like rereading it, because, every time I read it, I put in a new note, and just different periods of life that, the notes are associated with. But
I'm just waiting for like some ex-girlfriend's name to pop up or something. I'm like, what's this girl's name in the margin here?
No.
But no, it's good. It's all good. So reach out to us anytime if you have any questions or anything, comments.
The message about Linktree.
I don't know if we saw that. What was it, Beverly? Oh.
Gotcha. Okay.
Birthday. Huh. Okay. I'll take a look into that and see what's up with that. And I'll email you because I have your email address, Beverly. So we'll take care of that.
All right.
Do you have any last closing remarks?
Can't wait to see how this year goes, and it's a great way to start. And even though we almost pushed this first live back to next week, glad we could jump on, and hopefully we weren't too boring.
Yeah, hopefully. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next time.
Yep. Hold on. Closing note.
Wait, what?
The closing.
Oh, and then he has to do something for closing.
Yeah, I mean, you know. And we're going to close
and
this
we'll see you
out.
tonight at 8 o'clock on KT Treasures.
Boom. There we go.